Well, hey there, it's Alka.
And Jen, and welcome to another episode of the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast. And today we are talking about Zazzle versus RedBubble and telling you all about the pros and cons of each, and then trying to help you decide which platform to use and showing you which ones are better than the other.
So the first thing we have to explain is what are RedBubble and Zazzle, and that comes under what's called print on demand. And then secondly, what we're going to do is we've got some really good criteria that we've come up with for us and for you as well that we've used and that you can use to decide where you want to spend your time to create an online business. And so we've got some really great criteria. They've worked for us, and I think that they'll be very helpful for you to decide where you should spend your time to create this mega online business that's going to be successful for you. Mm-hmm. So let's get started. So first of all, what is print on demand, and why do Zazzle and RedBubble qualify for that?
So print on demand is an e-commerce online shopping platform where the customer buys something that is just the digital version at the beginning, and then once the order is completed or placed, the product is printed or manufactured. Zazzle and RedBubble are print on demand platforms. They have all the digital space that they need in terms of having the product online, and then when they print or manufacture it, then the product becomes a real product, like a physical product. So signing up for RedBubble and Zazzle as a seller is free. Some print-on-demand companies aren't free, but these two are. And you can start a virtual store and post products for sale by adding your designs on blank templates or blank products. And this is what the basis of print-on-demand is that you have a blank product, and you as a designer or a creator create a design and you put it on the product, and then that way when somebody buys it, they actually buy your created design on that product. And then you're also able to set your royalty amount, and then once the product sells, you earn a royalty or a percentage of how much the product cost the customer. The POD platform will then pay out the royalty fee for you because you created the design, so that's your copyrighted material, and you don't have to deal with shipping or handling or customer service mostly. And Zazzle and RedBubble allow you to be the designer and be the person in the back end. All you have to do is create the product and create the design, and everything else is done for you. So this is the basic of what a print-on-demand company or a platform is for a customer and also the designer, which we are talking to you as a designer or a creator. So this creates passive income, and then you're able to create that passive income that can hopefully generate income for you throughout the years online with this online business using print on demand.
So the question is, which one of these is better for you? And so we're going to give you an overview based on certain criteria, and those will help you decide where you should spend your time. And we're hoping that you like Zazzle better, because we are also on the Zazzle platform. We have RedBubble stores, but we found that Zazzle overall is better. So that's actually like a little hint as to where we feel that you should be ultimately. But to give you an idea, especially if you're on RedBubble right now, maybe you can consider being on the Zazzle platform, or if you're absolutely brand new to this whole space and just realize that you can do this as a concept, even as a business model, then you'll get some really great insights as to what you need to use as a judge to decide what you want to do. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's start with our first criteria. We're looking for an online business that has e-commerce options, which is what RedBubble and Zazzle are all about, and we want it to be a passive business online model. So both of those are ticked off as yes, because we're looking for a passive POD, and so both Zazzle and RedBubble fit that criteria. So that's a no-brainer. It's a given. Okay, so but now we're going to go into some more important details in terms of how you, as a person who's developing an online business and using this particular platform, either RedBubble or Zazzle, how can you use it? What kind of product availabilities are there? What type of market can you reach, etc.? And we'll go through some of these criteria bit by bit and compare each one. So let's get started. Mm-hmm. All right, ease of use. So RedBubble wins out here in terms of ease of use. Now, just because that is the way that RedBubble allows the designers, just like what Jen said, to upload their products or their designs onto products. It's very easy on the RedBubble platform. You just upload your design once, and then you get asked, well, which products do you want it on? And RedBubble just adds it So it's very easy. And that also allows people who are doing these bulk uploads to multiple different platforms to just include RedBubble as one of their print-on-demand companies that they use to sell on. And so that makes it easy. However, when it comes to Zazzle, even though their platform allows that and encourages that to some degree, what Zazzle's really known for is its uniqueness and customization. So what they're not as interested in having you upload bulk-wise, and we have another podcast that we've talked about that in, and we'll refer that to you in the show notes. But the cool part about Zazzle, even though it has a bit more of a difficult back end to do the uploading to generate the virtual products so that you can sell them, you're able to, at that point, because of its complexity, create products that are much more unique and different besides you just uploading a design that you created, whether it's artwork, photography, etc. And that allows much more product variability, and you can still do that if you use our Profit by Design Academy training. You'll get to see how you can still work at 5 hours a week and get really great results in terms of uploading the right kind of products, and rather than working in bulk, you're working in intentional, specific, targeted products, which can actually give you more value in terms of profit and sales than you would if you just uploaded a lot more designs. So that's the ease of use. Even though RedBubble wins in ease of use, in terms of the ultimate objective of our business, we want to make money and you want to make money, then there's more potential for you to make money, even though the ease of use is a little harder on the Zazzle platform. Zazzle wins out in terms of the variation that you can make and use the templates to upload your designs, so that in the end it kind of wins out, even though it's a little harder to use. Okay, next one, number of potential clients. And so this one is based on website traffic. And again, RedBubble wins out because they have, as reported by certain sites, about 24 million that visited the RedBubble platform in February 2022. And so that's kind of just a nice little detail. And in terms of the February stats for Zazzle, it was 14 million. So it wins out in terms of 10 million more per month in visitors. But again, there's no data that we can prove or show at this point as to whether or not, even though there's more viewers and customers that come to the RedBubble platform, whether that translates into the same percent of conversion, which is really, really important, because you don't need to have a lot of visitors, you just need to have a lot of buyers. And so even though Zazzle has less visitors, in terms of the experiences that we've had, it hasn't been as successful for us, and we get much more revenue generated on the Zazzle platform. Okay, do you want to handle the next one in terms of type of market?
So type of market. So not like in terms of type of market, each print-on-demand platform, I almost said social media platform, each print-on-demand platform has their different type of market. You have different types of people who come to the platform. Some people know about Zazzle, some people know about RedBubble, some people know about Etsy, some people know about Society6. There's a whole bunch of different online platforms where you can sell your artwork. So there is that type of market where some people resonate with certain platforms versus others, right? And so a lot of people, because of Elka just mentioned the stats in terms of the searchability of RedBubble, RedBubble is a little bit more popular in terms of the name and the brand and being well known. However, Zazzle is is definitely international as well, and also well known, but not as well known as RedBubble, unfortunately. But the different types of people who come to those platforms are very, very different. So on RedBubble, there isn't as much customization. You just buy the product as is, and then the person is buying the artist's artwork or the designer's artwork on the product, right? But the Zazzle customer or the Zazzle market are people who come to Zazzle because they know that they're able to customize the product. Zazzle is basically the only print-on-demand platform where you can 100% customize a product and make it truly yours with different templates. And so you're able to now give the customer that personalized experience, and they come to Zazzle for that. And so in terms of the type of market, RedBubble is actually has a con, or is lower, let's say, on the level of scale of what we're doing to compare, because you're only allowed to put graphic art and animation designs on the products. And then on Zazzle, you're able to put many different templates, so you can create anything that you want, and the person who buys the product before they actually make the physical product, they can completely change it. They can change the text, they can change the colors, they can change the pictures, they can change whatever. And it also depends obviously on what type of product you've made, right? In terms of if you've made, let's say, a wedding invitation, or if you've made a birthday invitation, or if you've made something for home decor, or if you've made a photo plaque or an art canvas, etc. The customer can completely customize it, and so the type of market is actually a little bit more personalized, right? You're able to cater to the customer's needs exactly the way that they want them to, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also for the Zazzle platform, people already, as customers, know that they can come to Zazzle for a variety of things, such as not only things like Jen mentioned with occasions, but also for monogram products and personalized products where you can add a different photo or text. So it's almost a bit like a Vistaprint, where you can add things for business cards and any type of thing where you have to replace a sample photo or a sample text with your own, and then use it based on that sample template that was designed for them on the product. Whereas on the RedBubble marketplace, all you're doing is looking for an artist and looking for their graphic design in a particular genre or color that you're interested in. And so that's the difference, whereas Zazzle also has that, but then they have that additional customization aspect, and that's what makes Zazzle so unique and different. And from a seller's perspective, we're able to not just put up our artwork and graphic design and photography, but we're also able to create these extra products, which have actually created a lot more wealth for us in our journey as sellers on that Zazzle platform, to generate that wealth and income in addition to our artwork and photography and graphic designs that we would have just added as is on the product. So that's a really big selling feature, and that's actually why we love Zazzle so much, is that customization aspect. It not only increases the breadth and the scope of the products we can make, but it also then allows us to target a whole other set of customers, so we can very easily increase our income by spreading out our depth of product inventory. Okay, the next one is searchability. So do you want to go in to do that one, or should I do that one?
You can do that one.
Okay, so again, it's all based on the bottom line of selling more on which platform, right? And so based on how RedBubble uploads products, even though they might have more visitors, the upload scope that RedBubble has in terms of just uploading the design once, having the attributes like the keywords and the tags and the titles and the description that's added to the product per upload, is going to be all the same, even though you've got it on like 15 different products, for example. Whereas in Zazzle, they discourage this bulk uploading, and so therefore, and you have to publish these products individually, and because each product really is a website page, and with a variation of titles and tags and keywords, for the Zazzle area, like when you're posting a Zazzle product, that gives you the opportunity to hit more search results, right? And Zazzle's asking us to do that variation so that there's better SEO and better searchability. Whereas on the RedBubble platform, that would be less of a thing, where you're getting more customers coming, but they're all basically coming based on one set of keywords. So you're actually reducing your chances of selling by having everything the same, even though it's on multiple products in RedBubble. And it's interesting, when you actually search on Google, you more than likely always find Zazzle products first that come up just as general search results than you do anything with RedBubble or Society6. And that we depend on that as Zazzle designers to get that extra organic searchability, which allows us to not bother with as much promotion and we still make sales, which is again all based on our passive business model to make online passive income without working too hard, which Zazzle is better at in terms of searchability, not only within their marketplace but also outside on the Google platform. And we also do Pinterest, and so therefore again we have that other ability to bring more customers through with the variation of all the titles and tags we use for the same design on different products to bring more people into the marketplace on the Zazzle platform. So definitely Zazzle wins out on that in that regard in terms of searchability. Okay, what about design versatility?
So in terms of the design versatility, we have the option to
This comes back to customization, really.
Yeah, basically, like in terms of what RedBubble offers the customer as the end product, they're not able to customize the product or add text or, personalize it. It's basically as is, right? And you are obviously able to always email the designer, whether that be on the Zazzle platform or RedBubble platform, to customize request a personalized version of it. However, a lot of people on both of these platforms on print on demand, they go onto the website, and if they don't find something that it takes too much time to personalize or that they can't, figure it out, they'll move on to the next thing that's the next best version or option for them, right? And so the design versatility is actually a con for RedBubble and a pro for Zazzle, because if you know either of those platforms and you're familiar with them, the Zazzle Marketplace design tool, so when somebody comes onto the Zazzle Marketplace and they say, buy this product now, you have templates set up as a designer that you've already pre-made so that they are able to, let's say, change their name, change the photo, change the text, whatever it is, like whatever type of product you have made, and it is a personalized product, like I mentioned, monograms or photo templates, text templates, etc. They're able to easily do that while they see the product, and it actually changes the in situ version. So right away, as soon as they change the text, then they see the version of the product that they're going to get with their personalized information on it. If the Zazzle customer is a little bit more savvy in terms of using the design tool, they can actually click the button that says customize further, and they get to go into the actual design tool, which is like a Photoshop version but on Zazzle. And so they can add anything that they want, their own photos, their own text. They can add and take away. They can completely change the product. And it's actually quite interesting because some of our products that we've created, we know what they look like, and then the customer posts a review and actually takes a picture of the final product that they've purchased, and it looks absolutely nothing like what we designed. And so it's actually really neat because we are able to inspire customers to create their own version sometimes. And even if the product looks completely different from what we first originally started out with, we still get the royalty because they clicked on our product and they're purchasing, quote unquote, our product, even though they've completely designed it differently. So RedBubble doesn't have that advantage. You either buy the product as is or you move on to the next one. And so with Zazzle, you're able to actually sell products and have them be completely customized. And so the design versatility is, through the roof. And it's a huge pro because, as I mentioned, first of all, they can use your template as is and they change the text or the pictures or whatever it may be. But then also they're able to create something of their own and personalize it and make it extremely unique to themselves. Mm-hmm. And there's also, and then also the whole thing too is with Zazzle, every single Zazzle customer, if you make a personalized product with a template, every single Zazzle customer who buys that one product that you have posted for sale will have a completely different product and it'll serve a completely different purpose for them, right? So you're actually helping the Zazzle customer who's purchased your product have that super unique individual experience of them buying something that's 100% uniquely theirs. On RedBubble, you're selling one product to multiple different people, and even though they're getting their own individual product, it's not 100% or 1,000% customized like it is on Zazzle.
They're exactly the same.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's fine, and Zazzle still has that option as well, that you can purchase something as is. But we have found that that's where the profit lies, is in this customization. Because otherwise, how could we serve so many customers because they may all want something slightly different, or they love the fact that they can add to it. So like if there's something on RedBubble, for example, and someone would just say, oh, I wish I could put my name on that, like add it as a personalized item or my monogram. That in itself is an incredible opportunity that Zazzle offers that Redbubble does not.
Yeah.
And it just increases our sales incredibly. In fact, I'm like I've made a lot of money on the Zazzle platform. Together, Jen and I have made over $1.5 million. That's payout from the Zazzle marketplace in terms of royalties paid to us after we've sold. And from that amount of money that I've received so far, like 80% of that is from personalized monogram and photo templates, etc., type of products that I developed on the platform using my designs. So it's a huge market that people overlook, and it makes Zazzle such a special place to be. Okay, love that one. We've left it to the end, but Zazzle definitely wins out over that. And the whole point here is that you're deciding on a business model that allows you the biggest scope of being able to make money even without having to do such hard work on figuring out that exact design that's going to be your runaway bestseller. And Zazzle, the way the Zazzle platform set up, that customers can really uniquely customize their own items, just makes it so much better, because we have to take a little bit of the guesswork out of them. What do they actually want? Instead, we just provide sort of the basic templates, and then they can play around with it. In fact, Zazzle even has something now where they can add extra graphic elements, and they can add extra, emojis and so on. Zazzle's really gone above and beyond in terms of giving the customer the ability to be their own designer, even though they start with our templates, because we give them that original idea as artists and we create that concept, but then the artwork and the way it comes out, like as Jen said, oh my gosh, sometimes when I look at my product, I go like, how did they get from there to there? Because it's so different. But that's the uniqueness of the Zazzle marketplace, and it allows that creative juices to flow even through the customer, and gives just that opportunity to have that much more scope and variation on which we can sell our original designs, even though they don't just get the same thing. Okay, so money.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last one we wanted to work through, and I think we kind of skipped it a little bit, so I want to just get back to it. In terms of product availability, there is a limit in terms of what Redbubble offers in terms of product types, which Zazzle way outperforms. So that's the other thing. So not only are we looking for ways that customers can buy from us with more variation, but we're also able to design on more products so that we offer more products to start with in terms of the type of products. And then even on the platform, Zazzle has this option it's a really great option. It's transfer the design to. And so it's actually a prompt that Zazzle has for the customer. If they see it on one thing, they can actually transfer the same design onto something completely different that they may not even, we may not even have that in our stores as a product with that design on it, but the customer can do that. And they can transfer it to any of the other products that Zazzle offers. With their help of the design tool, they can play around with it, add some more stuff, or just leave it as is. And again, all of that is a passive way to make more income, which we love about the Zazzle platform.
Even if they switch, so say you posted a product for sale and it is a pillow, and they decide to put it on a mug or a keychain, etc., you still get the royalty, not of the pillow, but if they transferred it to a higher price point product or a lower price point product, whatever the royalty that you've set, which is normally 10%, we like to recommend, you will get that royalty as well, even though you didn't technically sell the pillow that you posted for sale, but because they're using your design on the new product, you still get that royalty.
Which I love. Okay. So the last topic or criteria that we're going to use is something that's, again, very much both, people ask us, how did we get to such high numbers of earnings? And it's because we're always looking for efficient ways to make our business more and more profitable. And so Redbubble loses out on this as well. This is our last criteria, which is work once, sell many times over many years. And that concept takes a little bit of getting used to, because most people go I'm going to post something now with a design on it and I'm going to hope it sells. But people forget to look long term. Jen and I have been on this platform for 14 years, and that's huge because we have made things back in like 12 years ago that are still selling. So if you were on RedBubble right now and you posted something, more than likely it's something that's trending, because the whole graphic piece that you want to have sold on a t-shirt or a mug or whatever is going to be something that people want now. But will they want it 5 years from now? Will they want it 10 years from now? And the answer may be yes, but more than likely the answer is no, because especially on RedBubble, a lot of things are very trendy in terms of the colors, the color ways, the fonts, the designs, the themes, etc. And so unless maybe there's a collector or someone who wants to do it later, if your designs got really popular, you're not going to have the same opportunity to sell, to work once, make the product, post it, and then sell it years and years and years from now consistently. Whereas that's what we can do on the Zazzle platform. In fact, we have a lot of products that are like that. So that even like one product can actually, not just as a quick grab of money, like within a, like posting something quickly on RedBubble and then having it sell and make like $10,000 over time on the Zazzle platform. We can also do the quick sell, but some of our products didn't sell quickly initially, but they sold consistently over time. And now we look back and we see, oh, they've sold over $10,000 worth, they've created $10,000 worth of royalties for us, or something else, like in terms of how much money that the product in itself has made over time. And if you then have 100 of those products making that over time, then you can start doing the math and see how lucrative it can be working once and having that ability on the Zazzle platform to sell that over and over again. And the customer can switch it out, so they can change it to the new date, or they can change it to a different colorway, or they can switch out the font so it's a different font that looks more modern. But even though the concept of the design itself was always there and sort of classic and evergreen, as we call it, the customer can switch it out to make it more modernized, and the original concept is still something that they want, but make it modern makes it more feasible for us to make a sale consistently, time and time again, over the course of many years. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I hope that maybe you can explain that in English, because I don't know if I did a good job there.
No, you definitely did a good job, but it's just exactly what you said. The concept is you make a product today, and then years later you can potentially sell that product. And what I really like about all of that, what Elka mentioned, is that people nowadays, maybe yourself or your family members or friends, we're very much ingrained in the whole 9 to 5. You work a certain amount of hours and you get a certain amount of dollars paid out because you worked those hours. And I've tried to explain what Zazzle means to people, and sometimes their mind is blown because they're like, wow, you make one product, and so potentially you can make that product sell for you and earn money from that product years and years in the future. I have one product, and to break it down, let's say as an example, I have one product that I spent maybe, let's say, an hour on. It's a save the date postcard. I made it years ago in 2011 or 2012. So about 10 years ago, and I spent an hour on it. And I have sold over 400,000 copies of that one product because it's customizable. So I have sold a lot of money, like I've sold a lot of products, and I made a lot of money off of that 1 hour worked. And even though I've continually worked hours in the future making other products, that 1 hour that I, shelled out years ago has given me that amount of income. And so you're able to sell one product over and over and over again for years to come. And then also, not just in years, but during the day too. If you have one product and you sell that product to multiple different people, that means that one product has sold 5 times, right? And so you have the potential to not only sell one product over the years, but sell it multiple times during the day. And so this income generation and the passive income is it's endless in terms of the potential possibilities, because you just have to create that one product. And that's what the beauty of print on demand is that it's not a physical inventory until it's actually purchased. So you also don't have to sell certain things in your store before you can start to make new things or start to sell other things, right? If you were owning an actual shop like on the street and you opened your door to customers and let them in, you would have to sell your summer inventory before you could start thinking about your fall inventory potentially, right? Or you would actually lose money or cut your costs or have to do something with your extra inventory before you started to put out the next season's inventory. With Zazzle, it doesn't work like that. You're only limited by the amount of creativity and the amount of products that you post for sale, right? If you don't post products, you're obviously not going to make money because there's no way that people can buy your products. But there is the potential that you can make a product today. So today is April 9th, 2022. And so when you're listening to this podcast, obviously it'll be a bit later because we're recording early. But if you made a product today, you could potentially sell that 10 years from now. And that's actually what happened to Elka and myself. We still sell things that we made when we first started out on Zazzle. And it's a really hard concept for people to understand because they say, well, that's so far in the future. Like, how can you predict that? But when we first started out on Zazzle, we had no idea. But we just made sure that we actually did the work and made the products. And it just kind of happened for us, which is really great. And that's, as I said, the beauty of it because it's the internet. Like, it is still there 10 years later, right? And it's not a product that has now been thrown out in the garbage or is last season's whatever, you know, in terms of it's not popular or trending anymore. It's that people are able to now take that product and customize it and make it relevant to what they want and their needs nowadays, right? Mm-hmm. Hopefully that makes sense too. I know that I went on for a long time, but people just don't understand that if you make a product today, there's no telling that you can sell it years in the future, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that gives us a really great review of RedBubble versus Zazzle. If you have any questions or want to talk about it some more, definitely reach out to us. We'd love to continue the conversation. But we obviously are in favor of the Zazzle platform at this point. There are more pros for the Zazzle platform in terms of not just the platform itself in terms of its versatility, but we're always looking at this as a business, right? Some people come to adding their product or their designs to any of these products, both on the RedBubble platform and on the Zazzle platform, as more of a hobby, right? They're creative and they just want to have fun. They want to make a little extra pocket cash. But what we're looking at it for is to make it a 6-figure business in terms of income, and then sales, you can make it like 7 figures. Because as Jen said, we have like a 10% royalty recommendation. So if you make, something at X number of dollars, then 10%, 10 times that is what you're selling it at, right? And that's where we want you. We want you at the 6 or 7 figure mark in your Zazzle business. And we feel that that's very profitable and very doable at this point because there are people who are in our client, like our coaching program, that have already done that. Clients are making consistently $100,000 to $150,000 in the last year and this year, and not everyone. Obviously, we have to make income. We can't make any income claim statements, but that's when people start looking at these platforms as a proper business, something where it's not a scam or can you make money? Like we see so many things online where people are talking about, well, is it even a real thing? And it's unfortunate because it's been real for Jen and I for the last 14 years. That's been our entire income source, and it's so fun to constantly be making this money while realizing our earnings keep either increasing or they're nice and steady, and if we want to work a little bit harder, we can make more money. And in either case, the passive income lifestyle that we've adopted has been like a godsend. During COVID, there was no worries. In fact, it got better. And so now maybe, even though COVID's not as much of an issue right now, maybe the last couple of years have really influenced you and said, hey, I've got to find something else that's going to work for me on a side, even if I have a 9-to-5 job. And so these print-on-demand companies are really great as a way to make income. But now what you're doing is you're deciding which one. And you can't do all of them because then you're spread too thin. I think it's really important to even though there's that saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket, I think it's really important to get one working well, then move on to the next one. But also recognize that each one is going to be different. And so based on your criteria of what you want and how you fit in to the criteria that we set out here, then you'll know which one to choose. But for us, it was Zazzle, and we hope it's Zazzle for you as well. And if you need any help with any of the things that are not as great, like for example, the website traffic, we don't find that to be an issue. We still make a lot of money. We don't need an extra 10 million visitors per month. We can leverage the Zazzle customers as is to generate like 5 and 6 figure incomes for the year. Then the other thing that was that the platform is a little bit harder to use and get started on, but that we have training for that. And once people start that training, it's like, oh my gosh, now it makes sense and it's easy. And so you're more than welcome to check that out. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening or watching, and we will see you in the next podcast.
Yeah. Bye.